from NRG Stadium in Houston, Texas. It's week 2 of the NFL on EA Sports.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Baltimore Ravens and the Houston Texans. Taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Out comes Deshaun Watson, ready to captain the ship here for this Houston offense.
And I'll bet right now it's just one thought in his mind.
Win the game, yeah.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions,
no,
right?
2 touchdown passes last week.
2 touchdown passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
Now a first down throw, Watson. He finds Randall Cobb with a completion. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. A good start offensively. 15 yards on the game's initial play. Looked like man coverage, able to read it there on the outside for the completion. That'll be something to track as the game goes along here.
It certainly will, and there's so many different ways that they will try to figure out whether they're in man or zone. Sometimes you'll run a guy in motion to see if someone runs with him. Other times you'll empty out the backfield, spread it out, and see if everyone comes out and matches up. In any event, anytime you see...
And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes.
Deshaun Watson sacked.
Defense went 3-4. They got some push from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get, because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible or ends up getting double-teamed and sometimes triple-teamed. How about him working his way back and putting the big guy on the ground?
Gotta hope that's not a sign of things to come as they face an early second and long. Out of the gun, Watson. And this one complete to Will Fuller. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down.
There's a good reception there by Will Fuller. And if you're looking for breakout players in 2020, he's a big-time candidate for it, because he has a rapport with Deshaun Watson. And now with DeAndre Hopkins no longer in Houston, he could be their top receiver.
Throwing on third down, Watson. And this is going to be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. The reigning league MVP Lamar Jackson trotting onto the field and leading the way now in his 3rd season in the National Football League as this Baltimore offense gets set to go.
Well, he started his season the way that everyone wants to start their season, with an absolute bang. AFC Offensive Player of the Week. Let's see where he goes from here.
Set the bar high. Week 2, we'll see what he can do. They'll run for the first time with Mark Ingram. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Now a deep ball going to be caught here near midfield. And he'll finally be taken down, but he gets inside the Houston 20. A big play there on the catch and run. 68 yards.
Ravens.
That is definitely what we call on defense an uh-oh play. And what you mean by that is against Lamar Jackson, when you see him out of the pocket, your first thought is, uh-oh, he's going to try and run it. How do I get to him and get him on the ground? And guess what? That didn't happen, and his receivers took advantage.
2 yards that time, a stark contrast from the big chunk on the previous play.
It's 2nd and 8.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You may also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down.
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7.
Gain of a yard. And it's 3rd down.
On third down, Jackson. Flush to his right. He can run for it, and he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. Lamar Jackson, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Ravens have taken the early lead. Well, Lamar Jackson remembers 7 rushing touchdowns in his MVP season of 2019, and he's into the end zone here as well.
And when you hear that 7 rushing touchdowns in 2019, doesn't it surprise you a little bit?
Yeah, you almost expect more, right?
Yeah, in your mind, you're thinking Lamar Jackson got in the end zone a bunch more. That might be what he does in 2020.
Justin Tucker to kick off.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Taken about 7 yards deep. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
So now we get set to see Houston for their second drive of the ball game. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
A loss of 2.
On running plays, linemen, of course, have their assignments. That's expected. But it's not often you're expecting to see a cornerback blitzing in run support and tackling the run.
And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Derek Wolfe popping in for the sack. Now Charles dealing with a 3rd and long. They'll have to try to go back to the air again and this time avoid the sack.
Certainly hard to try to establish momentum when all you're doing is going backwards, not protecting the passer, and he gets dumped on his backside.
Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans. A shotgun snap for Watson. And Cooks has it over the middle. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
A nice return that time of about 14 yards. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Baltimore set to take over here for their 2nd possession of the game. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. And look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
They'll fake the give to Ingram. Now Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
I may be an analyst, but I'm also a fan. I love it when people take the big shots downfield, but he was under a lot of duress. And I think that forced the incompletion downfield. Didn't have a real good chance to find his target.
That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line.
Complete.
A first down and then some. Give him 29 yards. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 35-yard line. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
It's a loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 36-yard line.
On 2nd and 11 now. Jackson. This one caught by Ridley. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. That one good for 21 yards. And it'll result in a fresh set of downs.
That's the
Raven football here as we begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 1st and 10. After 7-0 on EA Sports. This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
at the 5-yard line. First and goal at the 5-yard line.
Jackson now. Escaping the pressure right. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up second down.
Well, there was pressure all around him, so the only play was to try and get out of there. I think it was an excellent effort by him just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
The line of scrimmage, once again, the 5 as they get ready for second and goal. Jackson going to give this one to Edwards. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2. Big play coming here. It's third and goal. They'll look to run with Edwards. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. Gus Edwards, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Ravens will extend their lead.
There's not much that's perfect in football, but that's about as close to it as you're going to get. Score, force a punt, score again.
And both drives were impressive. The opening drive was, that last one was. Now on the other side, though, what's your psyche? You're really behind the 8 ball.
You got to make sure you just hold in there. Survive the early storm, relax a little bit, and try and get back to your game plan. It's way too early for panic.
Now Tucker to add the PAT. And it's good to make it 14-0.
Makes the score. Ravens.
A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Taken about 7 yards deep. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
At their own 20.
A reminder, still some good games coming up here in Week 2 of the NFL. Later tonight, a rematch from that Super Bowl a few years back. New England visits Seattle up in the Northwest. And then on Monday night, we'll be there. The first regular season NFL game ever played in the state of Nevada. The New Orleans Saints and the Las Vegas Raiders from Allegiant Stadium. That should be something. Charles, a look there at the Ravens draft class for 2020. And I tell you, for a team picking late in the draft, they came up with a couple of gems in the first few rounds.
They absolutely did, because when you're picking that late, you're not expected to get some of the best quality players in the draft, but they did. Patrick Queen at 28, maybe the top linebacker. And then for some people, J.K. Dobbins at 55 as a running back. A lot of people had him number 1 on their boards.
A first down carry here for Johnson. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. Linebacker Patrick Queen bringing him down. And we're at the 41, second and 9.
41-yard line.
From the gun, here's Watson. He's got his tight end. It's Fells. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. Just shy of the 20.
6 more yards.
A good pickup there. 26 yards.
First down.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3. Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up. We'll check on his status when we get back. Seventh play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Watson now to throw. And it's caught. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. A 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Texans draw a bit closer. They haven't fully climbed the mountain, but they've started the ascent here with that score.
I like that, right? I think they've left base camp now, okay? So they've started to move their way up the mountain. Long way to go, but at least they know it's manageable.
Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. And that one makes it 14-7. So that one, an 8-play drive. It spans 75 yards. And the result, a Houston touchdown. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. And this will make it into the end zone. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21.
22-yard
Yeah, we dominate today.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Eric Murray that time there to knock it away.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
Jackson now on 2nd and 10. Back to Brown, this time complete. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Marquise Brown, 78 yards. And the Ravens are able to show off their quick strike ability. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
Justin Tucker.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
25-yard line.
The Texans back out there and ready to go. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in his second week of the regular season. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And he's all the way down to the 6-yard line. Watson hitting Fuller with a big one. 45 yards.
Still all sorts of time left in this game, and you'd like to be able to say take it one play at a time. But the truth is, they're probably going to have to hit on a few big plays in the passing game to close this gap, and that's a good start right there.
This is caught. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Duke Johnson, his second touchdown on the season. And the Texans have cut it to within a score. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. He's thrown for a touchdown pass, and he's run for one so far.
When you're able to watch a guy perform at a high level and do it in multiple ways, arm, legs, he really helps his team in a big way. You've got to think that they feel great about where they are in this ball game, and they feel even better about him leading their team.
Now he's hoping to put them into a better spot after this drive. From midfield now, here's Jackson. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. Eric Murray that time there to knock it away.
Quarterbacks look all the time at manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
He may try and run for this. Yeah, he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Beating him there with his legs. 21 yards, first down.
Well, I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react, even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL. They're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Justin Reed. He got out of the pocket there, was wondering what he was going to do with it, but I think he was calling, his receiver was calling for the ball, wasn't he?
He certainly was. The problem, he called for it too late, and when he delivered, they were all over him in the secondary and came up with the interception.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
Screenplay, Johnson. He's got a first down past the 30. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
A good rally to the football keeps him to only a yard, and it's second down. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Caught left side by Cobb. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here at half number 1. On first down, Watson completing it to the right side. Johnson. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Again, it's Watson. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Matt Judon. Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. From the right hash, this from 53. And now a timeout defensively after that first down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number 1. Now Kaimi Fairbairn out for the field goal try for the Texans. From the right hash, this from 53. Fairbairn able to put this one through. And that'll bring them back within 4.
Makes the score, Ravens 21.
So a big play before the end of the half to get them into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at the 20. He fakes the give here and looks to throw. Flushed out right. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. Not the way you envision things to start out the 3rd quarter. 1 play and already a turnover.
It's interesting. You and I were talking with the coach, and he talked about how at halftime, as a play caller, he wanted to make sure.
And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. A 24-yard touchdown. And the Texans have taken the lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Returning it, John Ross. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
This Ravens offense heads back out there, led by Lamar Jackson. He's likely still kicking himself from the interception last drive that wound up leading to a go-ahead score.
And he's going to assume all that came with that one, all right? That's all on him, but he also knows he's got to erase it from his mind and get back out there. This drive, very important.
He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
At the 24-yard
to throw again on 2nd down. Jackson. Plays like that, Charles, no doubt, they're just going to continue to fuel this crowd.
And this defense is already playing well, but it also feeds on the energy of that crowd that you're talking about, and that takes them up to another level right now.
Oh, and for the 3rd time, Jackson going to be intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby.
Jackson's pass.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10 at the 34. He'll start with a handoff to Johnson.
Number 20.
Derek Wolfe there on the tackle. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
2nd and 6.
From the 44, Watson, open man, the tight end fails.
And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens 33. 11 yards there, first down.
At the 33-yard.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Operating from the gun, Watson. And he hits his target. It's Kenny Stills. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Back to throw, Watson. This will be caught at about the 6. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Deshaun Watson, 4 touchdown passes now in the ballgame. And the Texans push further out in front. That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the 3rd quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead as well at the end of it.
And what it does is let you feel like you're in control of this game, even more so than a 2-touchdown lead, right? Because you have taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense some rest. What a big-time drive in that situation.
At their own 22-yard line.
Out comes Calvin Ridley and the offense for their next drive. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
2nd and 10. Thanks for tagging along with us here from Houston, Texas. Flush to his right. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
That was an interesting look there, because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them. And I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Whitney Merciless, showing no mercy, flies in for the sack.
3 and out.
Here we go on 4th down with Jackson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 21.